in the year of 2000 with A grade. I also sat in the same exam, but much earlier, and barely to manage being a C grader. Fast forward today, she is a housewife, and I am what a livelihood expert claim gainfully employed. This seems to be a bad joke, but we are not alone in our predicament. A local research firm financed by Women Development Department, University of Karachi, did a wonderful survey around this housewife phenomena some 2 months ago. It decked out pre-medical FSC result of 2000 and found that 70% topper are girls who outshined their counterpart in her wide margin. But only 22% of girls from the 2000 batch were able to work in the medical institute in hospitals by 2020. A whopping 58% girls completely disappeared into thin air in the ensuing 2 decades. Now, multiple factors were cited and documented in the subsequent findings and reports, and most of them were now common knowledge. Largely, poor husbands and innocent in-laws were cursed for not letting their Rapunzels and Cinderellas to work. But this survey came out another striking factor, hitherto unknown, at least to me. According to this survey, an overwhelming majority of women believe that they cannot compete with the man or in the man's world. Psychologists even named this phenomenon. They called it imposter syndrome. Now, the phrase imposter syndrome was coined in 1978 by two clinical psychologists called Dr. Delan and Dr. Susanna Elms, who identified a pattern among the high-performing, successful women. Despite their great achievement, these women were internally not able to accept their success. But there is another twist in the story, which only serves to complicate the whole issue. Initially, it was thought that this experience was limited to only as a female phenomena. But later on, it was revealed, yes, you are rightly guessing, that many men are also affected from this self-doubt that blogs smart, well-qualified, and articulated men, causing them, reduce, think that they have no skill to do any kind of job. Now, at the core of imposter syndrome is an inability to accept your success. It is difficult to recognize your accomplishment and your skills. Now, dear Toastmasters, I selected this topic not because I'm interested in some girly issues, but because I believe, maybe wrongly, that some of us, the Toastmaster, can experience this phenomena. Our confidence sometimes, it seems, don't match our competence. I invite all of you, including myself, to critically review whether we share these symptoms. We sometimes over-prepared, either over-prepared ourselves or completely avoid the situation and then suddenly burst into the stage. Some other time, we do everything either to eliminate the failure or completely avoid it. Oddly, we fear our success because we think we will not be able to perform what we did last Wednesday. Finally, we dismiss compliments when given by one of our colleagues by attributing the whole thing into a random luck or time. You know, DTM Tala was disqualified last time, that is why I got this award. This is one of the mantras we tell ourselves. The good thing is that, or the good news is that, we can, in the face of so many crippling syndrome and disease, you know, it is next to nothing. We can overcome it by challenging ourselves, by being aware about it. Meanwhile, or as an asider, my wife ended up being a graduate from Liaquat Medical College and stays at home now. While preparing this talk, I went an extra mile to hide it from her. Just in case she wakes up and smells the coffee, fights it back, and outgrow it. You are truly then will be in trouble. Toastmaster.